Okay, so you have this cylinder and you're supposed to try and figure out how deep this stuff is going to be on here. And so we have the volume of a cylinder formula, and it told us that the diameter is 25 feet, and we're supposed to find out how deep is this thing going to be if it's going to hold 180 cubic feet of gravel. And so what we're going to do is we're going to replace, this formula with the numbers that we know. We have the symbol pi. We know the radius is 12.5, so it's 12.5 squared, but we don't know the height. That's what they're wanting us to find out. So we know that if we take this and we multiply it, it needs to equal 180 cubic feet. So we'll write it as equals 180. Now notice all of these are multiplied together. So if we want to know what x is, we're going to do like we do with a normal equation when we want to get x alone. If these are being multiplied by pi times 12.5 squared, then we're going to divide by 12 squared times pi. 12.5 squared times pi. Can't get my mouth to say the right thing. So x is 180 divided by pi times 12.5 squared. Now, if I'm going to put this in my calculator, I'm going to have to do it like this. 180 over, and then in parentheses, I want to make sure I do pi times 12.5 squared if I'm going to put the whole thing in there. Put parentheses around it. Otherwise, the 180 will only get divided by pi, not by the whole thing. So I'm going to put that in here. I'm going to say, not clear that. Okay, 180 divided by, and in parentheses, I'm going to do pi times 12.5 squared, and then close that parenthesis and hit enter, and there we have it. It's going to be 0.36692 feet. So it depends on where you're told to round it. If they said, round to 3 decimal places, I don't really remember what this one said, but it could be at 0.367 deep. Now, if they said how many inches deep is it, we're going to need to change this because this is actually in feet because the whole problem was in feet. So if I want to know how many inches that is, since there's 12 inches in a foot, I would say, okay, here we have feet. And so if you have 12 over 1, so that means you're going to multiply this times 12 if they asked for inches. And so it comes out to 4.4 inches deep.